Welcome back, folks, to another episode of Toadally Unimpressed, where I, Morty, the grumpiest old man you've ever met, take a long hard look at the nonsense the internet churns out. Today we're diving into a video titled City Girl AI OL Lookbook's 80s Nostalgia in the City. Sounds fancy, right? I mean, who doesn't love a good old trip down memory lane? Especially when that lane is paved with questionable fashion choices and a soundtrack that probably hasn't aged well. Now, I don't know about you, but the only thing I want to see from the 80s is the back of its head as it walks away. And let's be honest, if I wanted to experience nostalgia, I'd just take a stroll through my bog after a rainstorm. So grab your leg warmers and your scrunchies, because I am ready to roast this like a marshmallow over a campfire, if I had the patience for that kind of nonsense. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me in this delightful misery. Let's see if this video can impress this old toad, but I wouldn't hold your breath. Well, look at this, a perfectly staged shot of someone sitting on stairs, looking all cute and casual. I mean, who knew sitting could be such a fashionable endeavor? This is about as exciting as watching paint dry in my bog. And let's talk about that outfit. It's like someone raided a thrift store and came out with the most basic white shirt they could find. I get it, 80s nostalgia, but come on. If I wanted to see someone dressed like they just rolled out of bed, I'd just look in the mirror. This whole vibe screams, look at me, I'm effortlessly chic. But really, it's just a reminder that sometimes, less is definitely less. If this is the highlight of the video, I might just need to take a nap instead. Here we go again, another shot of someone posing like they're auditioning for a magazine cover. I mean, who knew sitting on stairs could be a full-time job? And that outfit, it's like they took Casual Friday way too seriously. Let's not forget the classic I am deep in thought pose. Newsflash, if you're sitting there looking like you're pondering the meaning of life, you might just be thinking about what to have for lunch. This is about as groundbreaking as a rock in my bog. If this is what 80s nostalgia looks like, I'd rather stick to my old toadstool and reminisce about the good old days. Like when fashion didn't look like it was on a perpetual coffee break. Oh, look at this, another model on the stairs, striking a pose like she's about to launch a new line of overpriced handbags. I mean, who knew sitting could be such a competitive sport? And that outfit, classic black with a denim jacket, it's like they took business casual and turned it into a fashion statement. But let's be real, this is just a fancy way of saying, I couldn't decide what to wear, so I threw on whatever was closest. Those heels, please. If I wore those, I'd be face first in the dirt faster than you can say fashion fox paws. This whole scene is just a reminder that sometimes less effort leads to more authenticity. But hey, if looking good while doing nothing is the goal, then mission accomplished. Well, look at this. Now we've got a scene that looks like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. Those skyscrapers are so tall, they could give my bog a complex. And what's with the outfits? They look like they're ready to save the world, or at least take a really dramatic stroll through a futuristic city. I can't help but wonder if they're just as confused as I am about why they're dressed like they're about to battle aliens, instead of just hanging out in the city. This is a far cry from the 80s nostalgia we started with. If this is the direction we're heading, I might just need to invest in a spacesuit. But hey, at least it's visually interesting. Unlike watching someone sit on stairs for 5 minutes. Now that's a plot twist I can get behind. Finally, a bit of action with these two on a bike. It's like they're trying to channel their inner 80s adventure. But let's be real. This looks more like a scene from a hipster postcard than anything nostalgic. And what's with the flowers in the basket? Are they planning a picnic, or just trying to distract from the fact that they're riding a bike in a city that looks like it's been plucked from a futuristic dream? This is the kind of scene that makes me want to croak in disbelief. If they're trying to sell me on the idea of urban cycling as a lifestyle, they might need to work on their marketing, but hey, at least it's a change from all that sitting around on stairs. Now we're talking a mountain of pancakes that could rival the height of my bog. This is the kind of visual that gets my attention. Look at that stack. If I had a nickel for every time I've seen a pancake tower like that, I'd still be broke. Because who actually makes pancakes like that? It's like they're trying to set a world record for breakfast excess. And the girl's expression, she looks like she's just realized she's about to face a syrup tsunami. If I were her, I'd be more worried about the impending sugar coma than enjoying the moment. This scene is a delightful mix of absurdity and culinary ambition. Now this is the kind of creativity I can begrudgingly appreciate. Finally, some food that looks like it's meant to be eaten. These two are sitting there with their fancy little plates, and I can't help but wonder if they're actually enjoying the meal or just posing for the camera. That sandwich looks like it's trying to be a work of art. I mean, who puts that much effort into a meal? If I had a plate like that, I'd be too busy devouring it to even think about smiling, but hey, at least they're not just sitting around on stairs anymore. This is a step up literally and figuratively, if they keep this up. I might just have to begrudgingly admit that this video has some redeeming qualities after all. Now we're getting somewhere. This scene has a vibe that screams futuristic city, with all those neon lights and a crowd that looks like they're straight out of a video game. The character in the foreground has that classic "I am too cool for this" look, which is a nice change from the stare-sitting antics we've seen earlier. I mean, if you're going to be in a bustling city, at least look like you belong there, right? But let's be real, if I were in that crowd, I'd probably just be trying to find the nearest bog to escape all the noise. Still, I can appreciate the artistry here. It's visually striking, and I'll give credit where it's due. This is the kind of creativity that makes me sit up and take notice, finally. Now we've got some animated characters looking like they just stepped out of a high-tech video game. Those expressions are all over the place. One's got a shy smile, another looks like she's plotting world domination, and the middle one, she's just too perfect. Like a robot designed to be the ultimate influencer. This is the kind of visual flair that actually grabs my attention. It's colorful, dynamic, and a far cry from all that stare-sitting nonsense. If they keep this up, I might just start to enjoy myself. Though I still wouldn't trade my bog for this futuristic nonsense, but hey, at least it's entertaining. Here we go again with another model posing like she's the queen of the universe. Sitting on those steps, looking all cute and casual. It's like a masterclass in how to look effortlessly perfect. But let's be real, if I had a nickel for every time I saw someone strike this pose, I'd still be broke because it's just so overdone. The outfit, classic, but it's giving me major I just rolled out of bed and decided to take a picture vibes. Honestly, if I wanted to see someone looking this put together while doing absolutely nothing, I'd just look in the mirror. At this point, I am just waiting for something genuinely interesting to happen. Well, now we've got a Santa with a six-pack flexing like he's about to star in an action movie. This is the kind of absurdity I can get behind. I mean, who thought Santa needed to hit the gym? This is a holiday mashup I didn't see coming. The juxtaposition of a muscular Santa and a woman in a business outfit is just ridiculous enough to be entertaining. And let's not forget the Happy Santa Day, because nothing says festive like a Jack Santa taking selfies. If this is what the holidays are coming to, I might just have to start celebrating with a protein shake instead of cookies. Now that's a twist I can appreciate. Well, now we've got a scene that looks like it's straight out of a fashion magazine. This model is striking a pose that says, "I am too fabulous for this world." But let's be honest, standing on a rooftop with a helicopter in the background, it's like they're trying to make a statement. But all I can think is, what's the point? The outfit is sleek, sure, but it's giving off major look at me vibes that feel a bit forced, and those stockings, they're practically screaming for attention. If I wanted to see someone dressed to the nines while standing around, I'd just look at my reflection in the pond. This whole scene is a bit over the top, but I guess that's what fashion is all about these days, style over substance. Back to the stairs again. This model looks like she's auditioning for the role of most comfortable person ever. I mean, Who knew sitting could be such a fashion statement? That outfit is classic. Simple white shirt and denim shorts. But it's giving me serious I just woke up and decided to look cute vibes. If I had $1 for every time I've seen this look, I'd still be broke because it's just so predictable. And let's not forget the pose. She's got that eyes effortlessly chic look down to a science. But honestly, if I wanted to see someone looking this put together while doing absolutely nothing, I'd just look in the mirror. Can we please move on to something a bit more exciting? Finally, a scene that looks like it's actually happening in the real world. Two people enjoying a meal and having a chat. This is the kind of relatable content I can get behind. Those smiles are infectious, and the food looks decent too. I mean, who doesn't love a good meal shared with a friend? It's a refreshing change from all the posing and pretense we've seen so far. But let's be real. If they're sitting there looking that happy, I hope they're not just talking about the weather. Give me some juicy gossip or a good story. This is the kind of moment that makes me think, okay, maybe this video isn't all bad. Finally, a scene that feels genuine. Two friends enjoying a meal and sharing a laugh. Now this is the kind of content I can appreciate. Those smiles are contagious, and the food looks fresh and colorful. It's a refreshing break from all the posing and pretense we've seen earlier. This is what life is about. Good food and good company. If they keep this up, I might just start to enjoy this video. It's nice to see something real for a change instead of all the over-the-top fashion statements. Now, if only they'd share what they're talking about. Oh, look at this. Two smiling friends in front of a beautiful backdrop. It's like a scene straight out of a feel-good movie. Those matching outfits. Cute. But it's giving me major twin vibes. If they were any more in sync, I'd expect them to start finishing each other's sentences. And let's not forget that iconic skyline in the background. Definitely a nice touch. But honestly, if I had to choose between this picture-perfect moment and a quiet day in my bog, I might still lean toward the bog. At least there, I wouldn't have to worry about looking this cheerful all the time. Oh, this is a dramatic turn. A black screen. It's like the video just decided to take a nap. I mean, if I wanted to watch nothing, I'd just stare at the wall in my bog. This is the kind of cliffhanger that leaves you wondering if they ran out of ideas or just decided to end things abruptly. If this is the grand finale, it's about as exciting as watching grass grow. Come on, folks, if you're going to leave me hanging like this, at least give me a hint of what's to come, otherwise I might just have to croak in disappointment. Now this is a sight to behold. A futuristic cityscape that looks like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. Those skyscrapers are so tall, they could give my bog a complex. The sunlight reflecting off those glass buildings is almost mesmerizing. It's like they're trying to show off just how shiny and impressive they can be. But let's be real, if I lived in a place like this, I'd probably miss the simplicity of my quiet little swamp. Still, I can appreciate the artistry here. This is the kind of visual that makes you think, okay, maybe the future isn't all bad. Just don't expect me to trade my bog for a penthouse anytime soon. Now this is a scene I can get behind, a stylish cafe with some well-dressed folks chatting over what looks like a delicious spread. It's like they're all in a fashion magazine, but at least they're enjoying some food instead of just posing. Those outfits are sharp. And the setting is sleek, definitely a place I wouldn't mind hanging out in. But let's be real, if I were there, I'd probably be the one in the corner, grumbling about the prices while eyeing the pastries. It's nice to see a bit of life and interaction instead of all the stiff poses we've been subjected to. This is the kind of vibe that makes me think, okay, maybe this video has some charm after all. Well, here we are at the end of this charming little adventure through the whimsical world of the City Girl AI OL Lookbook video. I must say, if you were expecting eye-popping visuals and inspiring outfits, we got those, and then some mostly. Though, we endured many a model sitting on stairs, looking as if the most strenuous activity they'd ever participated in was deciding which pose to strike next. I had a feeling this was going to be about as riveting as flipping through a pair of worn-out photo albums filled with grainy pictures of distant relatives I can't stand. And did my expectations get blown out of the water? Not quite. Let's just say if I's held my breath waiting for something truly exciting, I'd be a Toad version of Rip Van Winkle by now. Now, despite being ready to croak at the endless staircase photo ops, I grudgingly admit that there were some moments of creative flair, particularly the visuals of that sci-fi inspired city and the delightful food shots. It seems that if you throw in some pancakes and real human interaction, you might just hold my attention long enough to prevent me from nodding off. Which is more than I can say for most of this video. So, if you enjoy watching models showcase the fine art of doing absolutely nothing for extended periods, this video could be your cup of tea. But if you think I'm gonna start pulling out my leg warmers and join the nostalgia parade, well, I'd rather just stick to my blog. Thank you very much. Before I croak myself out of here, do me a favor. If you've made it through this chaotic display of fashion and staged leisure, give this video a like if you somehow found it enjoyable. And don't forget to subscribe to Toadally Unimpressed for more delightful misery and moments where I grumble through the nonsense of the internet. Until next time folks, remember, when life gives you stairs to sit on, just avoid them like the plague.